All right. We might need another light here. Um, I'm here, but I don't know if I'm here. I'll explain that in a moment. Let me know what's going on, folks, because it's 5 o'clock on Saturday, and I'm ready to do my live Q&A. But I hope this is working right because I had a little bit of trouble accessing the chat that I'd already started. It's my first time doing this on the computer. Ah, hello, Karen. Yeah, I appreciate that. Dinner with Mayo. I guess we're doing all right here. Do we have, let me ask you, do we have two chats or one chat? I don't understand. Because I set up the thing where I said, I give you a thumbnail and I said we're going to be doing a Q&A, and the Q&A is going to be the date that it is, Saturday at 5 p.m. And here we are. And I couldn't when it came time for me to go on, I felt like I had to start a whole new stream. It's not part of the first one, but it seemed to work out all right. Okay. So, all right. You only see one. That's good. Okay. Let's go with this then. I hope there were, let me know if there were two. um, okay. So, yeah. This is going to be a new thing that I'm trying to do here. I'm going to start by doing this every week, the same time, 5 p.m. Eastern time on Saturdays. We'll see how it goes, if this is a good time or not. If it's a good time, if it works out all right, we'll keep this for a while. If not, I'll change it to another time, another day. I want to give everybody a chance to come on here. And see, we got a lot of people here. Karen Brayjack, the Pirate Gamer Boy, Tony MC, and CD Man 40, and Penny Lane, Tom Agnotti, Mr. Blood Vessel. Thank you very much, Stephen. Stephen Schnee helping me out here, letting me know that there's only one chat going on and no other pending chat listed. As I say, this is the first time I did it where I here on YouTube set this up, and it seems to be right. Okay, it looked like I had to start a whole new chat rather than continue from the thumbnail that I had started. Anyway, we're here. So, all right, everybody. So, as I say, this is gonna be just a trial. This first one. This is another catch up with Mayo, and we're gonna see how it goes. There's all kinds of times I could change this to. Maybe I'll try it this way for a while and see how it works out, and whether we're gonna keep this time or not. I thought it was a pretty good time overall. No time is gonna be able to accommodate everybody, but I try, different countries, different, people. So, all right. Let's see now. What are we doing here? Okay. Beans. We got Beans, and Mr. Blood Vessel says, "Did you know they attempted to remake Yellow Submarine in 2012? It looked so creepy." Yeah, I remember they were going to do a remake. Didn't know, was it going to be a live remake? I saw some pictures online today, I think, this morning, of people playing the Beatles. Uh, they axed the idea, but it might not have been a bad idea overall. So I don't know. I usually don't like them remaking things, but if they're going to try to do a live action movie out of the Yellow Submarine, maybe that would sound good. So certainly good for the kids anyway. All right, let's see. Hello, Liam. Liam Gillespie says Sam O'Kell said they're working on mid-period Beatles at Abbey Road. Looking forward to Rubber Soul and Revolver Super Deluxe boxes. So that's the first I'm hearing of it. It's okay with me if they go that route. I'm looking forward to more. There was a story that they weren't going to go any further, and I think that's very, very silly of them not to keep on going and doing all the Beatles albums, the deluxe sets. So that's good news. And I think I know what you're quoting, Paulina. A Carpenter's song, Paulina, the Angel of Music. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? That's because, just like you, they long to be close to you. Or however, if I said that right. Um, let's see. We have Doc Docus. What's up, Doc? See, I just coined a phrase. What's up, Doc? That could be popular. Eventually, I might catch on. Mr. Moonlight is so underrated and unloved. Oh wait, this isn't Fab Gab. Oh, number four. Yeah, well, Doc. I thought that I was going to do away with Fab Gab. Guess what? In the typical way that I change my mind back and forth, I decided to keep Fab Gab. So that's news here that I'm kind of breaking. I said I was going to stop it. Then I thought there were some people that said, they actually liked the idea of Fab Gab and kind of miss it. So I said, yeah, you know what? Why not then? So yeah, I'll just let you know how that's going to be going on in the future, not too distant future. All right. Let's see. Thoughts on Waterloo by ABBA. Waterloo is my favorite ABBA song. Yeah, it is. And my sister, God rest her soul, my younger sister was a big fan of ABBA, and she loved that song. And she had that 45. And I think of her and I think of those days, 1974, and being kids and stuff. Yeah. Favorite sandwich at Jersey Mike's. I've only went to Jersey Mike's a couple of times, and I haven't been there in a long time. And I tend to stick with tuna. I'm very boring that way. So, Pirate Gamer Boy says, I'm a Take a Chance on Me guy, which is another good song by ABBA. So, all right. Have I listened to that Berlin album yet? No, I have not. And as I keep saying, I've got a lot of albums, not just Berlin, the album I bought, but I have other albums to be listened to as well. So between doing live streams and between going shopping for new records and between making videos and watching some of your videos, don't have time to do everything. Plus, I also have to watch some movies. So at least I got time on my hands to do that. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Um, and if I wind up missing any comments or questions, don't mind me. Some of them I may be ignoring intentionally. Some of them I might have overlooked. Uh, okay. So yeah, what should I say more about this? I'm still going to do impromptu streams, meaning that the streams are not going to all be just this one Saturday scheduled thing. It's going to be the main one. This will be the main time you can catch me. However, I'll probably be doing other streams too, impromptu whenever I feel like it, and different times of day to give other people a chance to come on. Let's see. What was Berlin's biggest hit? Wasn't it "Take My Breath Away"? Or do I not know that for sure? That's my guess. Okay, Maca Films 66 wants to know, hey Joe, did you wear a hat or a ball cap when you delivered mail? I always wore the safari helmet. That's correct. I did that, and that was to keep the sun off my face. Hopefully, I got a couple of marks and things here. I think from the result of the sun, but you know, overall, I made it alive. So, thoughts on the hey Scott Campbell? Thoughts on the Beatles touring years DVD? Not familiar with it. No, no, not familiar with it. As Mr. Blood Vessel says, wearing the pith helmet, that was for the summer. Exactly. The summer, the hot weather. But really also wear it in the fall. I don't want to think about this place too much, but quite frankly. But in the wintertime, I would wear one of those, I don't know what you call them, those kind of floppy hats with the sides, with the fur on them that you strap underneath. Yeah. Wonderful days. Not. All right. There you go. CD Man 40 says, Take My Breath Away was number one for 1 week. Top Gun in 1986. Okay, and Paulina, the Angel of Music. If you were to be a musician, which instrument would you want to play and whose style would you want to emulate? Well, it would be simply guitar. I'd like to be able to be, if I was really fortunate enough, a lead guitarist whose style, probably Eric Clapton. Notice I did not say George Harrison. Sorry, George. All right. Rory wants to know, did I am I going to see Top Gun 2? Not only am I not going to see Top Gun 2, I never saw Top Gun 1. So, yeah, it's true. I do admit to that. Oh, 8 days a week is the Beatles touring year. Is that what you're talking about? The 8 days a week? Well, I think 8 days a week has turned out to be underrated. I think it's a nice little documentary, but the thing is, it's not the live, I don't know, mega documentary that everybody wanted to be Beatles Live, the ultimate last word on the Beatles Live with a lot of live stuff. It's more like, I think people call it anthology light. It's kind of like going through the documentary of anthology all over again. So, yeah, Henry, I can't read the last names. Henry Lemoyne says all the Beatles were great at what they did because they didn't even know how to read sheet music. They just screwed around and made up their own sounds, and the product came out amazingly. That's right, they didn't know how to read music. Wink 55. Hey, let's give a wink to Wink 55, okay? I see you there, Wink. It's Rich. What's going on? Um, Matthew Smith says I didn't miss anything not seeing the first Top Gun. I'm sure you're right. James Y wants to know why do most letter carriers not wear a uniform anymore? Do you only have to wear it if you are walking the mail? Well, yeah, but even then you don't have to. If you're a sub, if you're somebody who's not yet a regular, they call it a regular. You're not regular yet. You're just kind of like starting out. You know, they're always after you. You got to wear your complete uniform, but yet they have no problem letting people go around for the first 3 or 4 or 5 months of their career before they're entitled to be regular and get a uniform. Doesn't make sense, but not much does there or did. So, um, Wink 55 wants to know what did I think of the complete Beatles. Well, a lot of people are saying they still love it. For me, I loved it back in 1982, but now it's just pretty useless. I think that the Beatles anthology is so much better uh, than the complete Beatles, and maybe it's nostalgic in some ways. Why is somebody calling me? There must be a reason. I can't. Uh, hmm. Let's see. So I was getting. Why are you calling me, Robert S? I'm in the. I'm in the middle of this. Uh, just give me a second here. Anyway, so that's that. I mean, yeah, the complete Beatles was definitely exciting in its day. Not so much anymore to me. But I keep saying anytime that topic comes up, and it comes up every now and then, that there were moments about it and things in the complete Beatles that you did not get in the anthology even. Um, for example, Alan Williams, the first manager, took them to Hamburg, you know, stuff like that. Henry Lemoyne says I should do a live stream on Paul's birthday. Well, that's the idea, really. The idea is to do something for Paul's 80th birthday. Now, I'm supposed to be seeing Paul on the 16th. So hopefully, I will be talking about that concert. And on that particular concert, maybe we'll get a surprise or two because it's close to Paul's 80th birthday. I don't know. I just look at that as a bonus. I'm going to enjoy myself whatever way, but it'll be nice to have a bonus in that regard. Um, Let's see. Yeah, so as far as June 18th, they actually do a show. And Henry's asking, is Tom going to join you, Tom Magnati, for the show? Well, I'm guessing he's going to have his own show with Andy Nichols on two legs. I could be wrong. I think a lot of people here who do videos and have channels are going to be kind of scrambling around to do something for Paul's 80th birthday on June 18th itself. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Maybe I'll spend uh, that day talking about the concert that I went to a couple of days earlier on the 16th. So, and Doc Doca says watching the complete Beatles is fine if you only have a couple of hours to kill, and I'll go along with that. All right, we're reading some of your comments. Hasn't the complete Beatles not been re-released in many years? Yeah, I don't think it. I don't ever remember it coming out. To tell you the truth. Hello to the bear. What's going on? Do you think Elvis was jealous of the Beatles' success in America? I don't know if did Elvis ever say that he was jealous. I mean, I would think in a way he would have to be. You know, the Beatles took over. It's as simple as that. And yeah, but I always say the difference is that it's the apples and oranges. You had Elvis was a single performer, solo performer, and the Beatles were a group. So they're both great. But by the time the Beatles were hitting it big in '64, Elvis was like doing a lot of silly movies, and he had some good songs still here and there. But I don't think he was at his peak. Thank you very much. I see from Big Bear there's a $5 super chat. You know, if anybody wants to support the channel, uh, be my guest below. You know, and hit the funky little S sign down there. You know, if you want to. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, let's see. Wink 55 was at the Who show at the Garden the other night and thought I saw Andy on the train. Yeah, well, it's funny you should say that because I think Andy was going to the Who show. Andy Nichols. Yeah, I think he was going there. Uh, I think he's in the Jersey area. Okay. Christian says the complete Beatles was good for its time, but kind of obsolete now after the anthology and Get Back. I kind of agree with that. You know. And Doc Doc says Paul bought the rights to the complete Beatles to keep it from competing with Anthology. There's no competition, really. With regards to the new Elvis film, Mr. Bloodvessel says, the advance word is that Tom Hanks just ruins the whole film. Really? I was worried about that. I wonder if that's true. We'll find out. I'll see it at some point. I'm interested in it. But I just think that Tom Hanks doesn't really seem to me to be good for the role of the Colonel, Colonel Tom Parker, but we'll find out. And Steve Ramsey liked the Doc Dacus video tribute. Yes, it was very good. He did Doc Dacus, among other people, did a nice enough to do a 10th anniversary tribute video for my 10th anniversary compilation video, and it was funny. Dynamite! It was funny. I do have to agree. Yeah, the bit about talks of banning the Beatles from America. Yeah, that was supposedly going to happen. So let's see. What was my favorite? What is my favorite Paul McCartney bass that he has played? Well, I'm not an expert on instruments. All I know is for sure as of the Hofner. So, all right. Marcus says he can't. Marcus Schenk, I should say, says I can't wait to see the Elvis movie. I can wait, but I'll see it at some point, some way. But I'm going to go to the theater or not, not sure. Let's see. Rory says I thought Kurt Russell did a good Elvis film. Yeah, I thought I thought that Kurt Russell. I think it was 1977 or thereabouts on a TV movie Elvis. I thought he really looked good as Presley as well. He has the right look for Elvis. I forget this actor in this new one with Tom Hanks. I have to really see it to get an idea if I think that he strikes me as being Elvis. If I could buy this actor as Elvis, I've heard he's got the moves down. So Captain Clockwork makes an interesting comment. He says, "In my opinion, as far as getting the truth, Mark Lewison's book Tune In makes both the complete Beatles and the anthology obsolete." Well, that's true to a degree. Definitely, because as much as people want to believe that the Beatles are the best judge of their own history and the best ones to tell you what happened, all they can really do really accurately is tell you how they felt a lot about certain things. And while they may be correct about their own history 75% of the time, they actually make mistakes. They get dates wrong, they get time and place wrong. So sometimes they don't know it all, believe it or not. Yes, Henry. Paul plays Golden Slumbers. He's playing at his concerts. He's played it before. He's playing it right now on the current tour. Yeah. What's my favorite Elvis Presley movie? Well, that would be probably King Creole. I mean, I say King Creole in the sense that I think it's definitely far and away his best film. And I think Elvis also thought it was his best film. But there are other films I like in the silly department that I actually enjoy. I enjoy a film called Live a Little, Love a Little. That's one of my favorite Elvis Presley zany films. I like Girl Happy. So some of those films that are not as serious are fun. Did I hear they're making a Bob Dylan biopic? It doesn't surprise me. I thought they already did one, but maybe I'm wrong. With a female playing Bob Dylan. Daniel Edlin says, Joe, which single or song of Paul's did you wish hit number one that didn't? For me, I'd have loved to see an arrow through me hit the top of the charts. Oh, um, first I got to think of which ones did not hit the top of the charts that should have. And I'm drawing a blank. Um, it's again a question of during these live streams where you have to think fast while the questions pile up. Otherwise, you're going to be far behind. But I'm trying to think now of songs that did not make number one from Paul that should. Well, Hope of Deliverance. I think Hope of Deliverance was a song that should have been number one. Um, that was really disappointing to me. I think it's a great song from 1993. Doc tells me, thank you, Doc, because you and I are on the same page with a lot of these new movies. He says, Joe, don't go see the multiverse of madness. You'll be looking at your watch hoping it's going to end. That happens so many times. These movies they go on and on and on today, and they just feel like it's okay if a movie is long, as long as it doesn't feel like it never ends. But these things go on and on with climax after climax, ending after ending. You think it's over, it's not over. Not a fan of those Marvel movies, I'll tell you. What do I think of the Elvis on Tour movie? It's been a while since I've seen it. I think I might enjoy it, believe it or not, even more than That's the Way It Is, believe it or not. But it's been a while. Christian Dahl picks the song "No More Lonely Nights" by McCartney as a contender that could have been number one, should have been number one. Yeah, that's a good pick. A lot of the songs from Paul obviously could have been hits if they were recorded a little earlier because somewhere around the 84 or 5 like that and on, things changed. Um, okay. Steve Ramsey says that he wishes the song "Spies Like Us" was on one of Paul's compilations. Still doesn't have that song. I think that's a really underrated song. And as I always say when I talk about it, what I like about it is, okay, it's not going to win any awards for lyrics or anything like that. Doesn't matter. Paul rocks it, and I like the how heavy it is and it rocks. So there you go. Have I seen the movie Inception? I don't believe so. I see Record Rabbit has joined us. Hello, Record Rabbit. What's the good word? And let's see now. Rob Scure, Robert S. says, "Hi, Joe. Didn't get a notice of the live stream. I don't know what to tell you, bud. Sorry about that. Don't know what to tell you there." Yeah, CD Man 40 and Tom Hunyadi both are saying that Spies Like Us is on an import press of CD, of press to play, from a while back. I have that too over there, this cabinet here. Didn't really forget it, but you're talking about compilations. So Matthew Smith says Another Day should have been number one. It's a great song. I can't argue with that. No, Aaron Campbell asked me, "Do you ever see the footage of the 2012 Yellow Submarine animated reboot that was canceled?" Nope, never saw that. Who is the cardboard cutout supposed to be? Behind me? Not as it's supposed to be. It is Ringo Starr advertising his 1981 album, "Stop and Smell the Roses" as a policeman. That's the idea of that. Tim Allen, thank you. Tim agrees with me. Hope and Deliverance should have easily been a top 40 hit. Oh, we don't agree then. Top number one. So, do I have a favorite John Wayne film? Oh, good one. Good question. Um, I think when I was getting into different kinds of films, I don't, generally speaking, I don't like John Wayne much as an actor. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't dislike him. It just doesn't do anything. He's just kind of there. But I did like I think he was in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, I think, if I remember that movie. I remember liking that movie. Um, and I haven't seen all of his movies. Now, Woodland Goblin says, "Can we ask you about anything? You can try, but I don't know if I'm going to answer it. I reserve the right not to have to answer anything. Let's find out." Ringo did a duet with Bob Dylan on the unreleased '87 country album. I didn't know that. I knew the album was unreleased. You talking about the Chips Moment album? I didn't really know about that. Do I like the spaghetti westerns, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? Not so crazy about spaghetti westerns, and I only tried The Good and the Bad and the Ugly once, and you would think that that's a classic, that I'd love it, but it didn't do anything for me the one time I watched that one. Believe it or not. Matthew Smith says Stagecoach is probably John Wayne's best. Cheers. I got my famous, you'll see this from time to time as long as I have it, alien green cup. Okay. Tom Agnotti picks Red River or Rio Bravo for John Wayne. You know what I need to see? The one is it called McHugh? The one where he's actually a policeman, right? Have I seen Unforgiven? Yes, I have. A long time ago. I remember liking it quite a bit with Clint Eastwood. I did like it, but it's been a long time and I don't recall it. Yeah, The Searchers, I gotta tell you, Tim Allen, we don't always see eye to eye on a lot of things, and I disagree with you. I think The Searchers is one of the most overrated films. And I have a lot of notes on it that I don't recall what it was I didn't like about it too much, but I don't always agree. What's in the alien green cup? It's called H2O, water. You see how clear that is there? Clear. Um, Woodland Goblin. What's your favorite sci-fi movie besides the Planet of the Apes movies? Well, I love The Omega Man, the Charlton Heston movie. I love Soylent Green, another Charlton Heston movie. But I love The Andromeda Strain, and I love Silent Running, and I love. I could go on with a lot of them. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the Donald Sutherland version from '78. That's some of my favorite sci-fi movies. Yeah, and uh, Steve Ramsey says the man who shot Liberty Valance is one of only two movies where John Wayne actually says the word Pilgrim. Hey, Pilgrim. Yeah. Rob S wants to know what about Rooster Cogburn? Yeah, that's another one that I haven't seen that's supposed to be great. Mr. Blood Vessels says the Searchers is the Pet Sounds of Westerns. Interesting. David Catalano, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Other Day, still outstanding film. If I understand you right. Uh, that sounds great, Tim Allen. You saw the Searchers on a 70 millimeter print, brand new giant curved screen theater. Let's see. Now, Woodland Goblin wants to know would I want an Audi or a BMW? This is how gone I am. When it comes to cars, I couldn't care less. I'm not a car person. As long as it runs and looks fairly decent, not beat up, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm not familiar with those, to tell you the truth. David Catalano brings up The Day the Earth Stood Still. Yeah. That's a movie that I thought was overrated for a lot of years. I saw it the first time after hearing a lot about it, and I thought it was kind of dull. And then I saw it another time, and I thought, no, it's quite interesting. You know, it's very respectable. I see what people like about it. Talking, of course, about the Michael Rennie version. I've never seen the Keanu Reeves version, but Keanu Reeves is his acting is wooden enough that I could imagine him being an alien or something. Wiggy Monster says, interestingly, Dylan's lost years were from 83 to 88, similar to McCartney. Mediocre output. They both lost a little focus during that time, he says. I love Infidels. I wouldn't include 1983 in there. If you want to go 84, I mean 85 you had Empire Burlesque from Bob Dylan, which all had a couple of good songs. 86, Knocked Out Loaded, which sucked. 1988 from Dylan, you had Down in the Groove. This is from the guy who supposedly only likes the Beatles or knows the Beatles. But anyway, Down in the Groove, I like the song Silvio on there. Yeah, but you're right. Those were lost times, like for both of them overall, I think. Do I like the Indiana Jones movies? I like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't really care to see the other ones. I mean, I've seen them. I saw all of them, the other ones. Um, but the one I like the best is the first one, and the other ones just didn't knock me out. Yeah, Pirate Gamer Boy says for him the one of the most overrated movies is A Christmas Story. He found it to be a bore. That thing is on every year. I've only seen bits and pieces of it. And every time I see bits and pieces of that movie, I just keep saying, what is such a big deal about this movie, A Christmas Story? It just doesn't do it for me either. But there are other Christmas movies I do like. I'm just saying that one. You got Kolchak the Night Stalker, Darren McGavin as the main guy in there. So anyway, let's see. The Thing is a great sci-fi horror movie. Now, Henry, in that case, I only like The Thing, the John Carpenter version. I usually, if you know me, and it's a good time to plug my channel. Go over to my other channel and join. It's called Mayo's Movies. That's the title today. Changes Mayo's Movies. And I will be making movie videos. I got some ideas. I will. But anyway, yeah, that's one of the cases where you'll see I like old movies better. I usually like 30s, 40s, and 50s movies better than remakes. But I do think the John Carpenter Thing is way better than the Howard Hawks version. Let's see. Daniel says I'm doing a research of what takes from the Get Back sessions were used in the Glyn Johns mixes and the ones that were used for the actual Let It Be set release. Is there a source where this can be found? I'm wondering. Uh, Daniel, this is Daniel S. Morrill. Tom, help me if with this one. I'm wondering if that could be in the Lewison book, the Chronicles, or maybe a Bruce Spicer. I don't know if they're that detailed. And then Tom Hunyadi says, "Well, maybe one day watch the whole thing and not just bits and pieces." Yeah, I knew some wiseacre would come up with that. Now, of course, I believe movies have to be watched in their entirety, sure, but if I'm seeing like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there over a period of 20 years, and it's just no big deal. I mean, I'm not judging the movie because I haven't seen it. I won't judge a movie I haven't seen. I can judge segments of a movie and think I didn't like the segments, and that's what I'm doing there. So yeah, and Pirate Gamers talking about the Fly remake, which I never saw that in its entirety. I know it's very gory. Do I think Marilyn Monroe's death was suspicious? I don't know enough about it to comment on that. I'm not, into Marilyn Monroe or her life or death. But all I could say is there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there. Everything's a big conspiracy theory to everybody. So it keeps people excited. So Steve Ramsey says, I hope to see more videos on the Mayo's Movies channel now that you are living the life of luxury. It's funny, now that I'm retired, yeah, I got the time, but I'm surprised that I don't have as much time as I thought I did because there are other things I got to do. I mean, today, for example, I went for a walk. I'm trying to go for a walk to keep myself active since I'm not working. Try to keep myself active. I did that, and I had to shower and shave, and then I had some errands to run. And before you know it, the day's gone. It's amazing. But yeah, Steve, I definitely want to do that. And I still am toying with the idea of having movie videos here on the Mean Mr. Mayo channel, not just having the movie videos relegated over to the Mayo's Movies channel, which is smaller. It's a smaller channel. But the best way to know for sure is to be subscribed to both. Sometimes I may put the videos on both channels. So the complete recording sessions book, that's by Lewison. Yeah. Yeah, Doc says, the retired life isn't exactly luxury. It's really, it's funny, you know, it's not quite exactly what I thought it would be, but it's better than working. Anything's better than working, as far as spending your time, because you know what you have the time to do what you want to do. But it's weird. In my mind, I still don't feel it yet. I still don't feel, even though I've been retired now for a little over 1 month, and I just don't feel the complete feeling of it yet. The freedom of it yet. There's some freedom, sure, but I still feel in the back of my head like I have to go back to work at some point or something. Woodland Goblin says the retired life can be luxurious. It depends on how much money you have. Yeah, I'm not rolling in dough. So if anybody wants to give a little support down below by hitting the dollar sign, which I will bring up from time to time. It's only the second time in 41 minutes I've done it. Please feel free to contribute, and so that I can keep the channel going, keep the electric on, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. If you talk too much about that, then you're going to get a whole nother crowd. So I'm not going to be going on and on about it. Oh, Dino says there are videos that are telling you that John Lennon is alive. What do you think about that? Just like the videos that say that Elvis Presley's still alive, that Jim Morrison's still alive, and that Paul is dead. Nonsense. That's what I think of it. Nonsense. But I know for a fact, in my case, though, I must say, I do know that Elvis Presley's still alive. And I say that because I actually met him. He came into my record store. And if you don't believe me, check out the video that I did. I met Elvis Presley. He gave me a free scarf. That was several years ago, before COVID. Okay. So I think the video is called Elvis Presley's Alive and Shopping at the Record Store, or something like that. You see what I mean? Pirate Gamer can't wait to retire in 40 something years. Enjoy these years. I know older people tell you that all the time. Enjoy these years now. I'm telling you, take it from us. So, let's see. Doc Dacus is retired and he's nickel and diming it. And he says the current prices of everything aren't helping. So there you go. Now, Cherry Carter, hello, wants to know, did I ever get into Shocking Blue? All I can tell you is I love this song Venus. All I can tell you is that I didn't know for the longest time that that was a female who sang the song Venus. And I got a 10-inch record over there, which has not been explored yet, and it will in some episode that I do of first time spins. Uh, Frank 88 definitely has a question for. I wish this was a Tom Hunyadi stream because Frank 88 is asking Tom Hunyadi, Tom, do you like any other Beatles besides McCartney? You know, so. And Matthew Smith is looking forward to being able to retire in about 95 years. Mm. It'd be nice if I got my first paycheck from retirement. I mean, it's been over a month now. I think it's going to be at least 6 weeks. So there you go. And Tom Magnati assures us, yes, yes, yay, and yay. Huh. Oh, then he took the answer away. Okay. The answer was yes, yay, yay, and then he took it away. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's better. All right. So, wow, we're 45 minutes into this already. I'm only going to do about an hour. These things, you don't want them to go on too long. These catch up with Mayo things, but um, and then Woodland Goblin says, "What about your 401k, Joe? Don't you get that immediately?" Yeah, you could withdraw from the 401k. I have a 401k, but there ain't a hell of a lot in there because I didn't do the right. I didn't take let as much be taken out of every paycheck as I should have. let's leave it at that. Jerome says, "Good afternoon. Good afternoon." Let's see. Uh, Steve Ramsey, that's sad. My retirement plan is called death. Maybe you've heard of it. Yeah, I have. The only thing is, say it ain't so. Okay, DJ Chancia. I can't read it. I'm looking for Yellow Submarine. He's looking for a Yellow Submarine. He's willing to buy if anybody wants. Take that up with him. And then Tom Hunyadi also answers, plus the fact that he co-hosts a solo Beatles podcast should answer the question that he likes all the Beatles. Well, let's get into that now. That's another plug. Talk more talk. Hey, subscribe to that channel. That's another channel that I have. Talk more talk. It's the show I do with Tom and also Kid O'Toole and also Ken Michaels. So, hello, Mo. I know what Mo's thinking. I know what Mo is thinking. When are you going to make the Little Rascals video? Hang loose because that's going to be one of the first movie videos I'll do for you, Mo, because I have one more Little Rascals DVD to get. Little Rascals, they're all being restored on Blu-ray. I keep saying DVD, Blu-ray. Little Rascals Blu-ray, the series. They have one more volume to put out. I've been going through them all in immaculate sterling condition and transfers. Classic Flicks, I think, did them. And boy, I tell you, once I get more familiar with the last batch, I did them all from the beginning, from like 1929, the first talkies. None of the silents are on my list of best episodes, but from the talkies all the way from like 29 to 38. And, of course, not counting those later MGM ones, which suck, you know. But I can tell you though, I almost don't have to wait because I know that none of the Rascals from the last batch of 1938 are going to be amongst my personal favorites. I don't think, but it gives me an excuse to wait a little longer to make the video for you. All right. So anyway, Yakking with Friends is asking me, do I want the Beatles A Hard Day's Night in 4K? No, I have not embraced 4K. I don't know if I'm going to. People always jump on every word you say. If you say you're not going to do something, not going to get something, and then later on, one time you do get it, then they say, "Well, you said you weren't going to get it, and you did." Well, well, make up your mind. You can't. Can't you stick by your convictions? I go whichever way the wind blows, however I feel. It's my right to change my mind, just like women can change their minds. So whatever. That's the old saying, right? Um. Anyway, but for now, I unless I'm really forced into it, I don't really want to go for 4K. So what's going on, folks? Okay, Mo. Some of the videos on my channel are in 4K. Whatever. I'm not going to get a 4K player or, well, I may have no choice but to get a 4K player in the future that plays Blu-rays. Although I have like three or so brand new Blu-ray players in the box still hanging out. So thank you very much, DJ. I appreciate that. Thank you much. Um, were any little rascals still alive? Now you got me wondering. Hmm, I don't know. Well, I don't count Robert Blake because Robert Blake wasn't in the original Little Rascals. He came late in those crummy MGM ones. Uh, but I'm trying to think. I think there are some that are still alive. but I don't think they're any of the main Our Gang members, the Little Rascals. I think they're like side characters, you know. If I could be wrong, if anybody knows, let us know. Yes, yes, yes. So yes, indeedy, we're going to be trying to do this. I'm going to be trying to do this every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So remember, we can do a catch up with Mayo live stream. You can ask questions, make comments. Well, that's comforting to know. DJ says it took me a while to draw my pension when I retired from the Navy. Ah, Tom Magnati, what's your favorite classical piece, Joe? The thing that goes da-da, 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 na, na, da, 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 da. Okay, that's one I like. Uh, I like Swan Lake. Matthew Smith, do I have the silent rascals or just the sound ones? Just the sound ones. I mean, I like some silent movies. The Little Rascals, the Our Gang films, are not among them. I'm not a big silent movie fan, although I do have a few features that I like. Do I like that train silent film? You got me there. LA Woman. LA Woman. Okay. All Steve Ramsey wants to know is why did Paul put two versions of No More Lonely Nights on Wingspan instead of the two versions of Maybe I'm Amazed, Studio and Live, Hits in History, Hit being the live version? Boy, beats me, Steve. Beats me. Yes, indeed. We got time for just 30, 40 more questions because I got nowhere else to go. No, seriously. It's a little Rodney Dangerfield. I know it's going to be difficult too to come up with questions every week, isn't it? If we do this every week, but maybe there'll be new first timers here. Tim Allen says none of the original cast members of the Little Rascals are still alive. The last passed in 2015. I don't buy it because I think there are people like maybe people who play like DeWine or the guy who played maybe Waldo. I don't know, some of the ones from the end. I could be wrong. I don't know. Favorite comedian? Well, that's wow. Stand-up comedian is Rodney Dangerfield. The old-time comedians, Oliver Hardy. It's funny. Uh, I think Lucille Ball was a great comedian, and same thing for Carol Burnett. Two people here I'm not wild about. Number one, do I like George Carlin? No. Occasionally, George Carlin says some really clever things. He said, he says things that make you think, and you listen to him, go, yeah, that's true. I never thought of that, but I don't laugh out loud at it. He's good though. Yeah, I don't, he's not a favorite, but he's good. Jerry Lewis, I never liked. Jerry Lewis, he was not funny to me, and also a nasty, arrogant human being. So that's how I feel about Jerry Lewis. Penny Lane. Speaking of comedians, did you ever see a comedian live? Sure, sure. I would. It's funny. Well, at places like stand-up clubs and things like that, I don't remember seeing any of the biggies. Like you know, none of the real like popular ones. Let's see. Yeah, the Little Rascals started in 1922, but they could have been. But there were some children that were in the 30s ones that were like born in like 35. You know what I mean? 1930. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you might be right there. Anyway, yes, the Pavlovian Dance Number Two by Borodin. So many of these are also by the great masters, like these familiar themes. I know what you're talking about. That commercial with John Williams from the '70s, clock radio. Let's see. Cherry Carter, Joe, did you see my comment? Read Tubi, free streaming, a lot of old classics. Yeah, I actually went on Tubi the other night and found some things to watch. Funny thing is, the things I found to watch I already have on DVD, so go figure. My favorite actor and actress. My favorite actor is Charlton Heston, and I always feel I have to say, not because I think he was the greatest actor of all time, but I just love his variety of roles he played and the many different things he did. And Meryl Streep is probably my favorite actress. So, and yeah, Robert Blake is still around. I would be a good stand-up comic, probably, probably. And Steve Ramsey says that Jerry Lewis was a jerk for sure, but loved Dean Martin though. I've gotten to like Dean Martin as a singer, I'll tell you that. I've been picking up quite a few Dino albums, and I haven't showed any of my Dean Martin albums because I figure I've been picking up a lot of cheap Dean Martin albums, a lot of cheap Tom Jones albums, even Engelbert Humperdinck. However, these albums I may save to just show all together one time, in a video instead of as I get them. Instead of part of the vinyl finds of all kinds, I may just save them for their own, male vocal video sometime. But yeah, yeah. What's going on, folks? What's on your so cold minds? We only got like a little bit of time. I go 60, 65 minutes on these because, I usually leave them, these ones that I want to do, the catch up with Mayos. I usually leave them up. Felix Rodriguez. Do I like anything by Asia or Billy Idol? The only thing I know by Asia is Heat of the Moment. And I remember that was like you couldn't not hear that song, Heat of the Moment, when it first came out. I had some friends that really into that. And as far as Billy Idol, oh yeah, the big ones, White Wedding, Eyes Without a Face, Rebel Yell, etc., etc. You know, Sherry Carter wants to know, could there be a Paul McCartney biopic? I suppose, but I've had an idea. I don't think Paul McCartney is just not as interesting a topic for a film as say John Lennon or even George Harrison, maybe. But the thing is, I think there's an interesting part of Paul McCartney's life that could make for a good film. Hollywood, are you listening? It's during the period where the Beatles disbanded and Paul was felt like he didn't know what to do and he was in bad shape. And it could be a story of how Paul didn't know what to do without the Beatles and how his wife Linda kind of encouraged him and stood by his side and got him motivated and to form Wings. And eventually he went on to you kind of match the Beatles in some ways with Wings in the '70s. I think that's a good idea for a movie about Paul McCartney. So, did I mention Tom Jones? I must have. Yeah, I got a lot of Tom Jones now. Yeah, Tom Jones' voice, forget it. I mean, I'm finding that I can listen to just about any record by Tom Jones, any full album, and I can pretty much like it, you know? So, because I like the voice of Tom. Somebody I heard it described as the volcanic voice of Tom Jones, like a volcano. Well, volcano or not, I like it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Christian Dahl says the actors can't seem to get the Beatles' voices and personalities right. It's hard. It's hard to do those voices. Yeah, Liverpudlian voices. So, well, I'm gonna kick this one in the head here, folks. I think this went pretty fast. It's the first one of these that I'm doing as far as timing them. You um, Felix Rodriguez asked me, "Did you like Ringo's latest album?" Yeah, and by the way, Ringo's supposedly going to have another EP coming out. But anyway, let me cut it here. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you. I appreciate it from Big Bear, who was nice enough to give me a $5 super chat. There's still a little time as I'm talking here. Anybody would like this? Anybody want to support the channel? You got a few moments here if you want to just click on the symbol below. But again, as I said, I'm going to try to do these catch up with Mayo live streams where I get in touch with my audience and we can answer questions, discuss topics, etc., etc. Going to try to do them every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If anything should change, I'll let you know. Of course, I guess there are going to be times when I'm not able to do one. Maybe something comes up or have a prior engagement or something like that. But for the most part, we'll do this. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be doing these at other times. There's going to be impromptu times. Sometimes I'll do them really early in the morning. Sometimes I'll do them from somewhere else, maybe from inside my car, when I'm not home or whatever. And to be sure of that, I think to catch that, what you have to do is you have to hit the bell, right? I think that's how you get notified. Hit the bell to be notified, and you please, like the video and consider also, if you like, in all my videos on the bottom, there's a feature called "Thanks" or "Super Thanks." Anytime you want. I know this is crazy. These times are ridiculously hard. It's unbelievable with the gas prices and everything else skyrocketing. It's not a requirement. I have to make that clear. It's not required at all. Just appreciate it. So I thank you all for being here. Love to have you all watching my videos, and there's no point in making these videos if there's not going to be people to watch them and appreciate them. So good night to you, or good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. Okay. Fab Gab is not dead, by the way. Last thoughts. Fab Gab I decided will continue. Ta-da! So Fab Gab, to the delight of some and to the dismay of a few negative Nellies out there, is going to continue. Thank you, everybody. Talk soon.